Talking about Christmas, loads and loads of Christmas parties were taking place, works dues, right across Teesside, County Durham in North Yorkshire. When is yours? Now, they can be pretty risky business once the drinks start flowing. You know, everyone, let's go, has something to eat, plenty to drink. So what do you need to do to keep out of trouble with your boss? And I thought this was an interesting question. So today, I went to speak to Nicky Jolley. She's the founder of HR2day in Darlington, is an expert, I would say, in keeping Christmas parties this side of fun.
Christmas is my best time of year, and I become bar humbug when it comes to Christmas and our clients. It's horrible.
Why? Tell me why.
Why? Because everybody wants to be nice, everyone thinks they're doing the right things, and unfortunately that gets them in hot water because there's a duty of care and an obligation to look after those staff, and everybody thinks it's great to put free alcohol on and just let's see what happens. And unfortunately these days it goes wrong.
Have you got any examples you could give us? Obviously naming no names, but...
Well, the first year I was in business, we sacked 8 people at Christmas, and that was the most miserable time for me and my team. Some of them really serious, which I won't mention, but there was stripteasers for directors on tables, swearing and effing and blinding at directors, punching people, aiming at the directors, but actually missed and punched somebody else. We said after that, we're going to have to do something different. So we do what we call our bar humbug letter, and it's really miserable. And it's really sad, and it's just about remember your obligation as an employer, remember your obligation as an employee. This is a night that's been put on to say thank you for all your hard work. It's a sociable, pleasurable evening for everybody. But remember, you are in effect still at work and you've got to behave yourself.
And that is the key, isn't it? Because
the
works party is just an extension of to work, isn't it? Because it's the same rules apply. It's still a work environment.
It is, and that's what employers and employees have got to remember. If it's an informal, we're going to go out for drinks after work and we're just going to walk out and turn up somewhere, that's very different to an organised event. If it's a formal event where it's expected you turn up and the company contribute towards it, that is where you're drawing the line to say this is an extension of work.
Is there still ramifications if, say, me and my mates from the office went out for our Christmas party and we ended up in a punch-up? Is there still ramifications with work?
That's where you get into the grey area. It depends if you're wearing logoed T-shirts. It depends if that hits social media and you say where you work and it was with your work colleagues, because it's all about the disrepute of the company, the employee's injury to feelings. So are they upset? Is it deemed bullying? Is it harassment? Is that something that's been bubbling for a long time and hasn't been addressed? And therefore, is there some obligation of the employer to have resolved that?
So me sellotaping Neil Green from The Breakfast Show to a lamppost naked, that would be deemed as irresponsible for the BBC?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. That might be a tad overstretched to be doing that in your position.
It's clear sellotape.
Well, yes, but that's worse, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, you as an expert in HR, anybody, it's a Friday, heading out tonight for their Christmas party, what is your hit list? What is the thing that we must have front of mind all the time?
If you're going out with your employer tonight, just hold off what you might do in your own social time. Keep it calm, keep it reasonable. Consider your colleagues, consider where you are and who you're with, but have some fun. We heard a story yesterday where a company had started drinking in the office at 11 o'clock in the morning. By 5 o'clock, the police were called and everything else. So, be reasonable. 7 o'clock, maybe not drinks beforehand, and maybe an 11 o'clock finish, 12 o'clock, people go off and do their own thing. But just be sensible. It's a busy time. December's busy. This is just one of many events. Keep this one in a merry spirit that it's meant to be with. Wise words.
So if you are heading out on the works Christmas party, just ease back a little bit, then you won't get into so much hot water.